Platform 17 for the 1832 South Central service to Brighton.
Hi! Hello again. Welcome back to my channel. This is the second part of London apartment hunting, and this one has all the tips and tricks, all the lessons and things we learned along the way of finding our new home in London. So hopefully this video is going to be super helpful for you and full of insights. So please feel free to grab pen and paper to take notes, and without further ado, let's get started. I have already mentioned in my previous video that the most commonly websites are Zoopla, OpenRent, Rightmove. If you are looking to rent with a flatmate, spare room and ideal flatmate are your guys. So how usually it goes, you come to the apartment and you start asking questions. Don't be afraid to ask questions. This is gonna be your place after all, and you're gonna be living there for 1 year or even longer. So do not be afraid to ask questions, especially for me, for the person very much introverted. I'm in my head, so you need to be out of your head and notice little things in the apartment and ask about them, like water pressure, hot water, what's included in the bills. Is Wi-Fi included? What's the council taxes like? What amenities the apartment has? Questions about the area, why the current tenant is moving, and ask all questions. And then you negotiate the price. If the price is for 1,500 per month, you can easily go lower and say this is what I think is fair for this property and this is what we can afford. Also, you can put in an offer for a longer term. Let's say the place is for 1 year, you can easily do the offer for 2 years. And I think most landowners are inclined to accept people who are very reliable, who are ready to move into the apartment for a longer term, so they are stress-free and hassle-free. So my point numero uno is choose the right area for you. You have to do your own research, and there is no way around that. A few things to consider. First, commuting time. If you know where you'll be working, be sure that the property that you're viewing is close to the tube station, a train station, or overground station, or a bus stop. And depending on the zone that you are planning to live in, be sure to check TfL website to have an idea how much it's going to cost you to travel to the city and back. Personally, for me, I am going from zone 2 to zone 1, and it cost me about £6.40 to go to work and back. And thanks God I'm not going to the office every single day, so it saves me a penny. So if you're planning to live outside of central London, be sure that you go on the website and count that expense in. Depending on the life that you live, whether you have kids or you're a young professional, London definitely has something to offer. But like with any big city, it might be safer in some areas and a bit unsafe in other areas. So be sure that you are aware of the zone that you're planning to live in. Personally, we use the website called goodmigrations.com. It's super duper helpful website. You just go in, type in the preferred area, and then they have things like what it's like to live in this area, what's the safety like, what's the average home rent per month. Also, you can visit Met Police website. You just type in the postcode of the area and check what's happening there and generally how safe it is. My second point is price per week versus price per month. The first thing that stands out when you go on the website searching for your new home is that some properties have price per week listed. So what would you normally do? You take that number and multiply it by 4. No, you take that number, you multiply it by 52 because there are 52 weeks in a year, and divide it by the total number of months in a year, which is 12, and you get your monthly rent. My point numero tres is be ready to cash out. Be sure that you have on you 1 week worth of rent to pay as a holding deposit, and this amount is going to be taken from your first month payment, but this amount should be paid instantly once they approve your offer. But it does not guarantee that this property is now yours. It just simply means that this property is taken off the market while they are doing the legal checks. And make sure you have already 5 weeks worth of rent ready to pay for the security deposit. The sooner you are able to pay, the sooner you'll be in your dream apartment. And make sure that your deposit is secured by the government approved deposit scheme. Usually it's DPS. You will receive email directly from them as well as from your agency confirming that your security deposit is put towards the scheme. Point 4 is prove them. So we found this dream apartment in South Kensington for $1,700. The owner could go lower and make it at $1,650. I could easily give all my money for that location. It's 2 minutes from the British Museum, 5 minutes from Hyde Park. I mean, dream. But I simply could not give my money for that apartment. And why? Because I could not meet income criteria. For any property, you have to either have income or a savings 2.5 times larger than the annual rent. Since I'm only one employed in the UK, my boyfriend at the moment is not employed in the UK, my income alone could not make it. If this cannot be made, you can have a UK-based guarantor that will be required to show that he has income 3 times the annual rent. Or there's another option. If you don't have the UK guarantor, if your income is a bit lower than the annual rent, you can prepay 6 months worth of rent in advance after I think 48 hours once the offer is approved. So if you have that money on hand, or if you can allocate 6 months worth of rent in advance, that will help you massively. But I didn't have that cash on my hands, so unfortunately we had to pass on South Kensington maybe for the next year or 2. Another one is pretty obvious, but we didn't realize it before. It takes time. And I'm not only talking about finding your dream home, but also legal checks are taking time, and the owner making decisions taking time as well. Legal checks alone might take from 1 week up to 1 month. It again depends on how many documents you provided, and it also depends on the agency, how fast they are. My advice is to be pushy, but not too much. Find a good balance, because we were constantly following up with our agency, chasing them, and once they approved our offer, I asked the agency what made them choose us, and she simply said that because we were the pushy ones. We were the only ones who kept pushing and asking for the updates. So my advice, just don't sit around and wait for them to make decision. Be persistent if you find something that you really like, and prepare all documents in advance so when it's a go time, you are ready. One of my last ones is check the contract, make sure that it includes all the names involved, the property and address, the start and end date of agreement, break clause, legal obligation of the landowner, any maintenance and repairs they are responsible for, what you are responsible for, where to pay monthly rent into, who to contact in case of emergencies or any questions about the properties. Some properties have property management agencies which are very helpful, so in case of any questions you can directly call them or send them email and they will sort this out for you. And one last thing, once you move in, be sure that you are registered with council, and if you are living alone, you can benefit from 25% of discount, which I think comes in handy. And here it is, the end of the video. I think it was very short, but hopefully very insightful. And let me know if you have any tips and tricks on your mind. Leave them in the comment section below so we can all benefit from new information. Hopefully we can all help each other out. Thank you so much for tuning in, spending this time with me. Be sure to subscribe to my channel and like this video. I'll be back very shortly with another London video. So see you in my next video.